Yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome to me casa, make yourself at home, do your do. Welcome to my pad, this your lab, go create your move.
What's good, everybody? It's 99 miles per hour with Perci Garner, and I'm excited. We got a special guest today, but we'll get to him in a second. First off, I do want to make sure you do go check out all the other podcasts on the Get Level Pod network, ran by the Josh All. And go ahead and check out my merch store to help support a Dover student for a scholarship. That'll be somewhere. I forget where you put it, Josh, on the other sides. Also, we didn't get any more 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Don't know what that's about. I mean, this is the best podcast out there, so probably need to figure that out. Anyways, I guess we'll move right along. So the next guest, we did have Nick Goody last time, who was with the Indians when I played, but now we got someone making a name for themselves. It's not 99 miles per hour, but more like a 92. No, I'm joking. I'm just messing. But no, the guest today is a starting pitcher in the rotation currently for the Cleveland Indians, for your Cleveland Indians. And I got to meet him a few years back while I was playing. He was just getting his feet wet, new draftee out of what I just learned, Northeastern, where I'm actually continuing my education right now. But I think you were a second round draft pick? Third round draft pick. That's just crazy. I mean, as you guys will see when we get through this interview, he is a very, I guess, humble guy and just a hard worker, which we like in the Cleveland Indians organization. But no further ado, we have Aaron Civale. And in case you guys didn't know how to say his name, I'm saying that correctly, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, Aaron Civale. So, Aaron, man, I appreciate having you on the podcast. It does feel weird. It feels weird saying your first name. In baseball, we don't use those.
Yeah, I kind of forget my first name. Like, hey, who's that?
Man, well, I mean, I know I was texting you before the season, telling you how great of a season you were going to have. I know Bieber was telling you that, but you were kind of just like, yeah, it's going to be all right. But then, hey, man, I enjoyed watching you. I'm kind of blacked out because I'm stealing YouTube TV from one of my friends, and so I have to watch the Tigers. So whenever you guys play the Tigers, I can tune in.
Yeah.
But MLB TV blocks out people if you live there, so fun times. But I have to catch I have to catch your games like after the fact. But have you done any podcasts already?
I did a couple in quarantine. Did one with Pitcher's List and one with Perci back in the offseason.
Oh, nice. The Pitcher's List. I love watching those clips they have on social media.
Yeah, they're good.
Have you made it up there?
A couple times. I still talk to Alex Fast pretty frequently. So
nice. Is it because of your pitching, or is it because of your cat-like reflexes on the mound?
Yeah, I asked last night. He's like, "Do you practice those comebackers?" Like, I'm just reacting.
Yeah, that's just
time to practice that. You just slow it down.
No. And if we do, it's with the rag balls when we were in the minor leagues.
Right. Coach is just having fun crushing baseballs at you.
Exactly. But that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I started this because of quarantine. But nah, man, I've started to have, professional baseball players on here now. I had CC on here. I had Ken, and trying to get Tristan and Bieber on here, but Tristan's too good for me now.
Tristan's leading you, huh?
Yes, he is. But did I see he was up to 99 in his debut?
I think he hit a 7.
7, okay. I was gonna say, I thought I heard an announcer say, yeah, his debut was 95 to 99. Like, dang, Tristan, 100 pounds throwing 99 miles per hour. That's crazy. Anyways, what'd you say?
1 mile per pound.
I like it. That's efficiency right there. But let's just talk about you a little bit.
He might have the highest mile per hour per pound in the big
Yes, he is. What do they call that in boxing? The pound for pound. He's probably the one of the best pound for pound pitchers in the league, which is pretty impressive.
Hold his own.
Yes, and that goes along with just the theme of what I was talking about. Aaron Civale. He's not. He may be confident, but he hides it well. Aaron, you just the personality. I didn't think you were a high draft pick when I was talking with you and Shane at the apartment down in Arizona one day I'm just like, wait, where round you guys drafted? And you guys were like, oh yeah, like third. And what was Bieber? Was it fourth?
Fourth, yeah.
I was just like, what? Because you guys just don't carry yourselves. You didn't go buy an expensive car. Well, you might have one now. What are you driving now?
I got one in quarantine. So
did you?
I waited, but I got
what you
one.
got? You got Tesla?
I got an A7.
Ooh, nice.
It was used though, so I didn't.
Oh, look at you. Still being smart. Yes. I got a Ford Fusion, baby. Let's go. But I love a Ford Fusion though. It does need a car wash right now though.
Great car.
But other than, you being modest, we want to hear kind of your backstory. A lot of people know who, Tito is and Lindor and all that. But, you share on social media. That's kind of like a thing you got to do now, but you're not really an open book. So that's why I want to kind of show the Tuscarawas County and Northeast Ohio people, what you're about, because I think you're an interesting dude. And I kind of want to learn some stuff too that I've never. It's kind of awkward if we're just sitting in the clubhouse like, hey man, what's your favorite food? But tell me about yourself, man. I mean, where are you from?
I grew up in East Windsor, Connecticut. That's why
Connecticut.
That looks like a backwards U.S., but that's Connecticut.
Did not know that. I probably should figure out my geography.
For Christmas, and I was like, that looks backwards, and then it's like, that's Connecticut. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
So did you go to a big high school?
No. I grew up in a small town in Connecticut, East Windsor, Connecticut.
East Windsor.
I went to a prep school where my brother had gone. Probably 700 kids there. Played about 16 baseball games per season. So
wow,
get about 7 to 8 starts in. Play twice a week. So
really,
not very many games. Start in the end of March and finish in early May.
Wow,
so pretty limited high school season as far as baseball going.
Yeah, it is. I think.
Just kind of didn't really know what a weight room was in high school. Just played high school baseball. I played Legion baseball in the summer. Never did travel ball or anything. Little league growing up, but nothing crazy. Didn't really know much about training or whatnot. Just kind of, I think in high school I long tossed every day with my buddy. Just, I don't know why we did it. We just did. Thank you for that now, but
nice. Yeah. That's what's up. I mean, that's good to hear, just because, nowadays, you're not old at all, but just since when you were in high school to now, it's like totally changed.
Absolutely. I think it's unfortunate that baseball now is kind of, if you have money, you have an advantage. I don't think that should be the case, and I don't think people should think that. A guy actually messaged me on Instagram the other day. He's like, hey, I have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. What should I do to give them an advantage? I was like, teach them to love the game and let them love the game. Don't make them play baseball all year round, and don't buy into all these travel teams and whatnot. Let the kid enjoy it. If you teach a kid to love baseball, then he's going to want to put the work in later instead of him thinking that he has to because someone told him he's good at it. I've seen way too many examples of parents telling their kids they're good at it and they do it because that's what they were told instead of them wanting to do it. So I just told them, like, hey, let your kid find the drive, whether it's baseball or something else. Just get them involved or interested in something, and then let his desires take over for the work. Don't make him do anything.
I like that. And I've been doing some beginner pitching lessons. I don't teach mechanics or anything. I'm just trying to kind of get the kids just wanting to throw the ball hard and believing they can be accurate with repetition and practice with throwing the ball hard, not just because I know I grew up with oh yeah, I want to throw strikes. I got to throw strikes. And I didn't really learn until I was 26 that just chuck the ball and everything else will work out.
I know, I'm still learning that. Every time you try and be too cute with it, it ends up being a bad pitch. So you think that's what you got to do just because hitters are good. But at the end of the day, if you just throw the pitch with conviction, no matter what it is, whether it's 89 or 99. I think a pitch with conviction is better off than trying to place something.
Agreed. Yeah, pretty much every throw around the diamond's got to be convicted if you're throwing a pick off the first.
Absolutely.
You know, if you throw that kind of like, it's any pitch, any throw you make, just like shooting basketball. If you're a running back getting the handoff up the middle, you can't be shy or timid. You just got to go all out and trust in it. And that was kind of where, you know, I had a little bit of problem a little bit in my career, but the Indians did help out a lot. What do you think the Indians have taught you outside, you know, because, you know, I guess you learned some probably training skills and how to eat and stuff like that in college. But, you know, once you got drafted by the Indians, what was the biggest thing that you took away from, you know, how to take care of your body and be a professional?
Yeah. For me, obviously the resources with the Indians are endless. They may not be the highest market team, but they have all the resources in the world. With that being said, with the Indians, if you seek out what you want, there's going to be at least one person there to help you. Most likely there's going to be 5 to 10 people, but with us, I think the biggest thing that they do is it's not cookie cutter. Everyone can bring their own input to the table, and as long as you have reason to back it up, they're pretty good about either countering and reasoning with you or letting you do what you want. If you want to throw 90 feet every day, then as long as you have a good reason for it and you can back it up, then you do that. If you want a long toss, then you do that as long as you have a good reason for it. But just as far as learning from them, there's just so many people here, so many different knowledge bases, older, younger, newer to the game, pro ball experience, no pro ball experience. Just a lot of communication goes on with the Indians, and that's not always the case with life in general. I think communication is a huge aspect as to why pitchers are developed well. A lot of guys want to put in the work, and they set up a scenario here where they allow you to speak with them. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's not them telling you what to do. It's
Gotcha.
you giving input and they're giving input back, and it's a relationship that you develop instead of just like a dad telling his kid he's good at something. It's, hey, let's figure this out together.
Yeah, I mean, and that's big. Just feeling like you're like, I know right now when I involve my kid in some decisions, obviously I might control 95% of that, but his little 5% input, it's still, you know, he feels involved, and it's just not me. Hey, this is what we're doing today, even if that's how it was for me growing up. But
absolutely.
Yeah. The one thing I kind of took from the Indians is the biggest thing is what you said. It's not cookie cutter. You know, I know there's a lot of organizations out there that, you know, they have a way and they think this is how it should be done and everyone should do it this way. And I think that does harm. That's even in college, but I was blessed to have a college that didn't do that. I mean, did Northeastern, how was, you know, going through their program?
That was great. My head coach is Mike Glavin, the Glavin that you're thinking of is his brother. And he understood everything. He understood what players needed. Obviously with college, there's regimen and there's structure and all that. And I think going to college is the best thing that you can do. I think understanding that structure is important, helps long-term routines and whatnot. Those 6 a.m. lifts are terrible when you're doing it. You're walking in negative 30-degree wind chill in Boston, Mass. But looking back on it, it's like all those little things make the competition on the field so much more fun because, you know, you can look back and see all the hard work you put in. It's like, hey, like, why should I be thinking right now? I put the work in, so I'm going to go out here and just execute. And that's all you have to focus on when you're out there.
And then that's basically, rest in peace, Roy Halladay. That was what he believed in. Hard work and preparation gives you confidence. You know, I went into pro ball thinking success brings confidence. And that was one of the things I learned is, you know, I never was thinking about, look, I've woken up and done all these, because I played football first, doing all these lists for football, doing all this hard work. And I would never take that in the game as, you know, I would still have some little thinking, you know, a little bit. And that's a one valuable lesson that I think if any, you know, young kids are listening to this or just want any tips about getting better at baseball, I think Aaron just said it best. Like, you have to have fun and just play the game. You shouldn't be on the mound like, okay, I want to keep my arm here and do all that. And I think that's something that even, adults fall victim to. So, yeah. And I think it's important.
It becomes how quickly can you make those adjustments when those thoughts do creep into your head. It's like how quickly can you realize it, and then how quickly can you change it? Because it does happen, even in the big leagues. No matter, like, every guy goes through it. Like, hey, like, caught myself doing this. It's just, do you catch it or does someone else catch it? Does it take an inning? Does it take a game, or does it take a pitch, or does it take not even a pitch, just a thought? I'm like, hey, stop it.
Yeah. And it's funny. I think that's what Andrew Miller, he would actually say that out loud on the mound, was stop. But I think I think the other thing that you brought up is very important too, and that's routine. And you learn that in college, but that's not set in stone what your routine is going to be. Obviously, learning new things and be able to make different adjustments, not only on the mound, but in your nutrition and your workouts, getting to know yourself. Yes, it's great to get drafted out of high school, but you really don't have time to learn yourself, and going into pro ball, it could be a disadvantage. There is some people that are ready, but I think it's a very little crowd, especially, we have 6 levels to go through in minor league baseball. So they do have time to figure themselves out. But I think getting the education in the process is pretty good. You get the education and you get to know yourself a little bit. And that is, if you come from great programs like me and you were blessed to do so. Me being Ball State, we actually played Northeastern in football. I didn't have anything to do with it. We did win, but I was just, doing my signals on the sideline. But no, like, if not baseball, what other sport would you play?
Probably none. I'm not fast enough to do anything else. I chose pitching for a reason. I knew they were going to be fast.
Probably none. I like it.
I mean, if I could pick any sport to play at the professional level, it'd be golf. I think that's the best sport you can do. You control everything. Like, if you do well, you get paid. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
And you get to play in sick locations. You get to travel the world, and I mean, what's better than that? But at the end of the day, there's a lot of pressure on that, because if you aren't performing or something goes wrong, it's completely on you. Nobody's going to pick you up.
Yes.
So that can be lonely. Baseball is individual, but there's a lot of guys that pick you up. For instance, last night I gave up 4 in the 5th, and then that tied the game. And Santana came right back and hit a 2-run bomb to give us the lead back. Like,
feels good.
If I'm playing golf and I give up 4 in an inning, that's the equivalent of probably like a quad bogey on a hole. Somebody's there to hit a birdie on the next hole for me. I got to do that. So
it's a great analogy. Speaking of golf, I'm trying to get into it. In my line of work right now, a lot of relationships are made on the golf course, and I'm trying to, learn, and it is frustrating. How are you? How are you golfing? Are you decent?
I'm okay. Nothing crazy. I have fun. 1 to 2 good shots a round will keep me coming back. So,
see, I don't have any good shots, but I still go back. I'm trying to get to the driving range a little more, but I also don't want to just go to the driving range to just try to blast the ball and try to have some purpose. So treat it like baseball.
And work, and then you get there and you're like, I'm just going to hit bombs. So
this might be a hard question. Who is your favorite teammate?
That's a tough one.
You can give me a few favorite teammates.
Yeah, there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different ways a guy can be a good teammate, whether it's really personal relationship with a guy or off the field relationship, or what energy a guy brings to the field.
Okay, hold on. How about this one? Because I get this question a lot too. Who was, I always get that. Who was your favorite? Or who was up there? Who was the coolest or whatever? And I really have a few people to name. There's no one. The greatest thing I think about the organization when I was playing is there was no one where you were just like, usually you have that one person where you're like, all right, dude, like get a clue. But from my viewpoint, I didn't think there was one person who I was just like, you know what? I wouldn't go have dinner with that dude. Pretty much everybody, I was just like, yeah, let's go. I would get a text message from anybody, let's go eat. And at the time, I was a rookie, so I had to do anything anyway. But who's buying the candy right now for the bullpen?
I don't know if they're doing candy anymore. I don't know.
They're trying to be more healthy.
We all have our own like individual bags this year because of COVID and all the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Rookies are carrying those, Cam and Karencheck. It's like a 50-pound bag that they got all the little individual bags in. So, got weight balls and snacks for a game, whatever. I don't think they're doing candy though.
Gotcha. Who has impressed you like the best? Who has been the most impressive to you this year so far? I guess out of the young guys, because obviously,
right,
we know who's going to be great.
Yeah. I think there's been a few guys that have just made big strides. I know he's newer. Obviously, Bieber, what he's done this year has been incredible.
Nobody knew he was going to be that good. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking with you, Bieber. But that's just great to watch that. You and him, doing your thing.
I got drafted in 2016 with him and Plesac. The strides that both of them have made and seeing them work each day and what they do and how they go about their business and just go out there and compete on the mound. On paper, neither of them. On paper, maybe I don't know. Carrasco's got some nasty stuff on paper, and Bieber's got great stuff. I mean, everyone has good stuff, but on paper, it's not DeGrom where they're throwing 100 or Cole where they're throwing 98. And all this stuff. But just the way that everyone on our team seems to pitch with confidence and go about their business, they do carry the work that they put in onto the mound, and it's very clear. Nobody's really afraid to back down. That's on the pitching side. And then hitting side, I know he's been new, but Naylor's really impressed me with the way that he's been playing. Very high energy guy. Very, very similar approach to Hosey. I love watching Hosey play.
Who doesn't, man? I just like watching him walk.
He's my dad's favorite player.
Is he?
Yeah, I got my dad. I got him to sign a ball for my dad last year, and he cried.
Oh, really? Nice. That's what's up.
He's there. I don't know. The whole team is just fun to watch. Naquin coming back from his ACL. That's huge.
Yeah. Naquin.
Just everybody. I know on result wise, we've been struggling, but you would never know in the locker room. You would never know. Everyone's really good about how they go about their business and picking each other up and understanding that as a team game and the results. Yes, wins and losses are important.
Yeah.
That's what dictates success at the end of the day. But nobody seems to be result driven. You would never know if somebody goes 4 for 4 or 0 for 4 because they're putting the work in, they're giving it their best effort. And at the end of the day, that's all anyone can do is give it their all. Mm-hmm. You can get upset with the guy if you see he's dogging it or not giving it his all because that's frustrating and everyone else around you is. So just going out there and giving it your best effort, whatever you're doing, that's all you can do. And I'm not going to throw 99 ever. I'm never going to be in the 99 mile per hour club.
I don't know about that.
It's just not that's not on my cards. But with that being said, I should never try to do that. I should always understand that I'm Aaron Civale. I'm not Jacob deGrom, or I'm not a guy that's going to go out there and throw 100. So
know yourself.
Like you mentioned earlier, going to college and learning about yourself, I think that's one of the biggest and most important factors is understanding who you are, and then from there determining how can you be your best self, not how can you be someone else. Yes, there's going to be influences from teammates around you and coaches and the game itself and the direction that it's headed or whatever you're doing in life and the direction that those things are headed, but understanding what you can bring to the table and then maximizing those values, and then just trusting what you're doing.
Gotcha. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Real quick, what is your, I guess, routine for your starting thing? Because I know when I started, obviously the day you start, you get to the field a little later. You try to, keep your energy up for the game. But then the day after, and I was started with the Phillies, so different organization, I would lift heavy lower body the day after my start and run a long ways, stairs or run poles for 25 minutes, all the fun stuff. And then the next day would be bullpen day. I would do an upper body lift and, a little less conditioning. And then the day after that, I would do a light lower and just long toss. And then the day after that, kind of tailor it down, chill out and make sure you're ready for the next day. How does your routine, just compare it to mine and what you think is best for you now that you've played? And I know you still got, a long way to go, hopefully, in your career, but you're still learning yourself. But basically, right now, what are you doing that you think is your go-to routine?
I'll start with day one, which is day after. That's what my day today is. I threw last night, so today will be. I don't touch a baseball today. I do just weighted balls, which is a normal warm up for me. Going out to play catch, but I won't touch a baseball today.
Okay.
I want to give my arm a little break and give my fingertips a little break. Some of the laces are pretty rough, and I've had blister issues in the past, so that gives my fingertips a little break and get my arm moving, but not too much workload. Just throw a lot of pitches when you start. Through I think 107 last night. So, as far as throwing goes, it'll just be weighted balls, and then I will get a full body lift in. It's typically a little heavier today than the second lift in the cycle. So I'll do weighted balls, lift, and then some form of cardio, either bike, Peloton, or it kind of cycles throughout the season. We're in a kind of not a down phase, but just kind of tapering down a little bit so we can get ramped up for max energy for the playoffs. There's some kind of pull work, either ladders or half pulls or half and quarter pulls, whatever it may be. Nothing crazy, nothing long distance, no 25-minute run or whatever.
Hey, the Phillies love running, man.
But today's probably the only day where it's longer work, cardio-wise. And that's just, I wear a heart rate monitor when I pitch, and it's about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours of average 140, 130 heart rate. So the cardio itself may not be important, but the heart rate work is what is important. So
if you don't mind me asking, what do you get up to?
I've been up to 180, 190 before in game. I use a Whoop to keep track of all that.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool to go back and look at it because there's the peaks from each inning, and then you see how low it gets in between innings. I've had a start where I got up to 198, so it's intense out there, and it's cool. You can go back and pair it up with time and then see what the situation was that caused that. But so just understanding that, well, as a pitcher, cardio itself is not important. The heart rate is up when you're pitching, so training that in alternate ways, whether it's lifting in a shorter period of time and not taking any rest in between reps to train that, or the cardio or whatever it is. Just training, not throwing the baseball because we can't throw 2,000 times a day, but getting the heart going as if it is working.
Yeah.
So it's just parallel work and training that, getting your body prepped for that. And then I'll do my recovery stuff, get on the massage table, and sometimes I'll get in the float tank the day after. Is
this still the same lady?
Beth, strongest of all time.
Oh my gosh, she almost had me in tears. But I'm soft though, so it's all good.
She's strong. She knows where to push.
Yeah, she does. But
that's day one.
Okay.
Day two will be I throw my bullpen on the third day.
Okay.
I started doing that last year just to give myself a little bit more break and recovery from that 100+ pitch start. So day two is pretty relaxed for me. Play catch out to 90, 120, whatever I need that day. Just move my arm, feel it. Probably won't spin too many things, just throwing it and get the arm moving, see some ball flight. And then I will do, we do agility works. Agility on most guys do it on day 3 because that's the day after their bullpen. I do it on day 2 just because my bullpen's day 3.
Gotcha.
But just some sort of agility work. Try and be a little athletic. But
I had a rough time with that too. It's all good.
Day 2 is a pretty low day as far as if you want to classify it in highs and lows. So it's a low day for me. Day 3 is probably the hardest and heaviest day that I have during the week. Probably comparable, maybe more so than a start. I'll do my bullpen work. I will do gassers or half gassers, which is basically down and back or down, back, down, whatever you want to do. It's not fun. It gets hard. But so bullpen, anywhere from 30 to 45 pitches. And then gassers for cardio, which is just sprints essentially. And then I'll go get into I'll do manuals with the trainers, which is shoulder care. And then I have a lift that day as well, which is full body. So it's a lot of work on the day 3, but it gives me some recovery day the day before and then a recovery day the next day.
Gotcha.
So it's a heavy workload that day, and that kind of preps me for my start moving forward. Day 4, which is day before, is again similar to day 2, which is light catch play. And then the running is just some sprints, 8 to 10 sprints, 30 yards. Nothing crazy with that. You want to be prepped and ready for the next day.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, day 5, which is a start, is the most important day of the week. That's why you put all the work in throughout the week. Recovery, strength, cardio, whatever you need, whatever you're putting in. Day 5 is the most important day, and that's we're out here to pitch. We're not out here to be running athletes or power lifters, whatever. And something the Indians started doing, I think, last year, and we're doing this year to monitor the strength and whatnot, is we do a lot of force plate work. So we have force plates to jump on, which test vertical jump.
Okay.
They have on those force plates a bar that you pull into, essentially like a deadlift, how much you would pull into the ground. And then we have a groin bar, which is squeezing, adduction and abduction. So squeezing and pushing with you're laying on your back and your knees are probably 90 degrees and you squeeze in and push out. No, that's just to monitor strength and make sure you're in the right spot going into your start.
Gotcha.
And that can be useful to either monitor, either add or subtract from some of the work you put in the week if you're doing too much or not enough. Just to monitor small things. There's a lot of little things that guys deal with throughout the year that aren't going to be addressed publicly. But that's part of the game. That's part of any sport. It's the most unhealthy thing I do is throw a baseball. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's not natural. So there's a lot of work that goes into making sure I can do that every 5th day. Not just going out there and throwing the ball. And then my start day, I've always struggled with this. I really have very little appetite on my start day, just whether it's nerves for the game or whatever it is. I always get nervous for a start day, not in a negative way, just in a positive way.
Yeah.
It's my day to go out there and perform. And I think that's natural for any competitor to have those nerves.
You should be worried if you don't have them.
I definitely struggle to get food in on those days. So that's something that I'm still working through. And that's part of my routine that is not complete. And the routine's never going to be complete. It's always tinkering and learning and adjusting. But
that's your life as a pitcher.
4 hours. Say that again.
I said that's your life as a pitcher. Always tinkering, adjusting, and learning new things.
Exactly. Try and get there for 4 to 4.5 hours before the game. We'll do a lot of my video prep work, watching video from my previous start, video of the other team, going through notes and do all that while doing some recovery method with the Normatec on my legs.
Oh, I love Normatec.
Yeah, it's a great modality. Big modality fan.
Yes.
Mark Pro is my best friend. So
yes, I love that as well.
But yeah, it's just there's a lot of work that goes into that 5th day. A lot of it's behind the scenes, and a lot of guys do a lot of stuff that nobody sees. But that's what I'm talking about when guys take their work into the game as confidence, because they know they're putting that work in. So there's no point in worrying about what you're gonna physically be able to do that day. It's just go out there and compete. So
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, so you went in depth, which I'm glad you did. I don't want you to go, yeah, my first day's a light day, heavy day, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you did that, just to, give the listeners some knowledge on what it's like to be a starting pitcher in the MLB. And getting close to wrapping it up, I did want to ask, I guess, how do I want to ask this? Well, let's just forget that one. Let's think about, so this is your first full year, right? Being in the bigs, and you've had to,
COVID year.
Yeah. Yes. When did you get called up last? Did you get called up last year?
I debuted in June for one start. Clef had an ankle issue, and then got recalled in August. So
nice.
Had 10 starts last year.
Nice. And it was important, did you feel any type of pressure to perform, or was it like, I'm just going to, get my feet wet in the big leagues, or was it like, hey, I'm trying to show them what I can do, so I have a future here with the Indians?
Yeah. I mean, going into my debut, I knew it was going to be one start no matter what. Tony Manzolino was my manager in AAA, and he goes, hey, if you throw a no-hitter, you're coming back here tomorrow. So don't just go out there and have fun. Like, all right. So I knew the first impression was going to be important. Whether results were good or bad, I knew I needed to go out there and just be me and compete and do what I needed to do. And at the end of the day, give the team a chance to win. That's the starter's job, is to go in there and pitch as long as you can and give your team a chance to win. So I did just that. Went back down 2 days later, and then kept my head down. Not down, kept my head up.
I know what you're saying. And didn't want to cause a ruckus in there. You were just like...
kept working back in AAA in Columbus. And then when the time came, we traded Trevor Bauer, and then Salazar's hip issue came up and the spot opened up. And when the time came, I was ready for that opportunity again. And when I got back up, they were in the middle of a playoff chase, and it was cool to be a part of that. There wasn't really any time to just like, hey, just go out there and learn. It was like, hey, like, you got to go out there and do your thing, because we're trying to make the playoffs. And for 2 months straight, I think we got eliminated like 3 days or 4 days left in the season.
Yeah. So
each game was super important. And I remember, I think I faced like 4 or 5 aces on the other team in a row. And so those are high stress, high leverage games. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. The competition is unbelievable, and definitely miss having fans in the stands. It's a little extra adrenaline, whether you're home or away.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, they're doing their best to recreate that this year with crowd noise. But it's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the competition level was just high right off the bat, and kind of just jumped right in there.
And I think that causes for less thinking. You're just like, you got to go. I always perform my best when I was facing, another top pitcher. And yeah, so.
Yeah, I think I went Berrios, Tanaka, Syndergaard. I went like Mike Minor with the Rangers, and then Berrios, and then Tanaka, Syndergaard, and then like Odorizzi again after that.
All right, here we go. Strap it on. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, one last quick question. Is there anyone that you have faced where I would say comparable to my moment. I think I did a good job of blocking every name out and just pitching. But I don't know how or why, I got distracted or out of the zone for a split second, and I heard the PA announcer say Miguel Cabrera. And I don't know if you watched that game, but I ended up having to intentionally walk him because I threw the first 2 pitches like 30 feet into the grass. I was doing fine, and then that was the bullpen bully game. Ended up having to intentionally walk him, and which kind of scared me again. Once I threw those 2 balls and then they did the intentional walk, I was like, oh, crap. I threw it like 50 mile an hour to Roberto and got that done. But I was able to strike out Victor after that. But is there someone that you were like, oh, crap?
So the first time that happened to me, we played the Red Sox in spring training in college. And I was pitching to Pedroia. And he hit a foul ball down the line. And as I was tracking back, I saw Ortiz on deck. And I was like, oh, my gosh, what is going on? So I was in college. And I
can't imagine.
But in the big leagues, it's got to be the same. My debut was against the Tigers, and seeing Miguel Cabrera in that box, I've been watching him since I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and just being on the same field as him was incredible. And it's still incredible every time you see a guy like that. Nelson Cruz, Miguel Cabrera. I got to pitch against John Lester the other day, which is a guy that I grew up watching and one of the guys that made me love this game. So to toe the rubber against him was just incredible and humbling, and it makes you realize that this game is special. But yeah, Miggy's definitely, that presence is always going to be around him, and he's a special baseball player.
And he's always having fun though. He's never taken much serious, and that kind of like, but I'm pretty sure you did probably better against him than I did. Did you?
He got an infield single off me, so
I'll take. Yeah, that's better. I didn't throw a ball near the plate, so.
The good news is, if you got to intentionally walk somebody now, the manager just tells the ump 4, and you don't have to throw anything.
Yeah, where was that when I was pitching, man? But
you've seen Miggy hit an intentional walk for a base hit. Yeah, scary. He's probably the only person you don't want to intentionally walk, even by throwing the pitch.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I appreciate you coming on. Was there anything else you wanted to say? To send a message to anybody or whatever, because I didn't really get to talk about your parents or whatever, but maybe we'll have you on down the road, maybe a year from now with a normal season.
Honestly, just whatever anyone does in life, find something that you enjoy and do it to the best of your ability, and have people around you that are going to support you and support that. My parents have always been nothing but supportive. My fiance is same. Family, I got a big family. My mom's 1 of 9, so I got a ton of cousins.
Nice.
Tons of aunts. They're all nothing but supportive, and it's pretty cool to see how close my family has become because of what I'm able to do on the field. It's not just me playing baseball. It's brought my family closer, which is pretty special to me.
Nice.
I have uncles that didn't show up to family gatherings for years, and now they're all talking baseball every 5th day or whatever. So
that's what's up.
Cool. Yeah. Just understand who you are and give it your best effort. Don't pay too much attention to results. Yeah, those are results are just byproducts of your work. It's not what's important at the end of the day. So just put the work in and see where it takes you.
I like it. Well, Aaron, appreciate having you on the podcast. Appreciate you coming up. You know that you're all big time now. Thank you for still, answering my texts and stuff like that. But once I get done with this Northeastern education, maybe we'll have to get back on the video games. But all right, appreciate having you on. Go get that work done today, because today's a big day for working out and stuff, according to your routine. And let everyone know I said what's up. And
will do.
Yep, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
Yep, for sure. See ya. Well, appreciate everybody tuning in. This will be up Tuesday. We'll have Aaron's socials in the description, so you can go follow him. Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. And yeah, give me some 5-star reviews, subscribe, like, all that jazz. Appreciate having you. Peace.
I took his number, so.
Yeah, everyone's got these. Mackenzie's got 26.
I don't know how he got that right.
What, you got 43? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I had 66 last year.
Oh, yeah, my number.
And then we traded for the only guy in the big leagues that wore 66.
Puig.
Sick. Just got my jersey taken away and didn't even get anything for it. Like, not even anything.
Yeah, Jan, I think, got a Rolex from Edwin to take number 10.
Right. But I was in the minors when we traded for Puig, so I just gave it to him. They didn't even ask me. They just did it.
I did like it.
They gave me 67. I was like, what the hell is that? 67. I would have rocked 66. That's fine.
Yeah, I would have rocked that in my career, too. They gave me that to me, too. And I was like, yeah, I'll rock 66.
If you give me a debut jersey, I'll wear that. But then you just switch it. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, like, come on. But the day I was going up, my wife actually gave birth. So I was at the game. I think the game was at 4. It was opening day for home in Cleveland.
Okay.
And the game was at 4, and at 2:00, my wife called me.
Oh man!
And it was April Fool's Day, and I'm with coworkers. I'm with coworkers, and yeah, they're like, "Dude, she's lying." I'm like, "No, she would not joke about this." So I got an Uber because I didn't drive because I was like, "She's not going to give birth today." So I had to take an Uber back to the hospital, like an hour away, and then that was fun. And then I told Sandy Alomar, like, "Hey, I'm gonna be up there," and then he's like, "Where were you?" I was like, "My wife gave birth to our daughter." He's like, "I guess that's important."
I guess that's worth it.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to make it back up. Hopefully next year fans will be allowed, and
I hope so too.
I miss Andre and all you scrubs up there. So I don't want anybody to forget about me. So I got to come up there and make a scene.
It feel like Casablanca. Shouting, you my little mama. I got a crib by the water. Say me Casa su casa. It feel like Casablanca. Shouting, you my little mama. She be on that Henny. I like that Corona.